Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie if you are new to my channel, and if you have been watching for a while, welcome back to my channel. And today's video is going to be a very different type of video for me. Just because I usually am more like showcasing what I do versus sitting down and actually talking about things that I have done, or not really showing what I'm doing, more speaking about what I've done. And I really wanted to make this video, especially right now, because on Tuesday, October 10th, it will be 5 years. It will mark 5 years that I have officially been with the online world and selling online. So I have been selling before that, and I was just like selling here and there. It's probably been like about 5.5, 6 years at this point, but I waited about a year to really create my online website and really start a brand and start a company and start selling under a name. And on Tuesday, it will be exactly 5 years ago that day that website officially launched, because I had many websites before, but the official website, the new logo, everything that I worked so hard for launched on that date. And I am so proud. I'm so proud of everything I've accomplished and everything that I have done. And I know it's only 5 years. But as you guys know, I am very young, and I'm really proud of everything I've accomplished. And I am even proud of the things that maybe weren't successful, and definitely were. I don't like the word failure. To me, the word failure has such a negative tone and such a negative thing attached to it that I don't like the word failure. So I like the word mistake, because I think that that's a great way to describe something, because I don't like the word fail. I hate that word, because I don't think anything is a failure. I think if you learn from it and you grow from it, it's not a failure. You know what I mean? And even if it wasn't successful, even if you lost money or whatever the case may be, it was still something you learned from and something you more than likely will not do again. And that to me is learning, and a mistake that you made and you learned from. So I'm really excited to film this video, because I want to share my biggest mistake in business in 5 years. And there's so many mistakes that I have made, and I was gonna do like my 5 biggest mistakes in 5 years, or my 3 biggest mistakes in 5 years, but then I was like, no, I want to talk about the biggest mistake that leads to other mistakes, because I think that this mistake is a mistake that a lot of people make. And if I could tell myself 5 years ago this message, I wouldn't have I still would have probably made the mistake, but I would have made the mistake if I heard it from somebody else. But if I heard it from myself 5 years ago, I more than likely would have not made the mistake. Like, I wish myself right now could talk to myself 5 years ago and, you know, like, have a conversation. And I know that the best way to learn is by your mistakes. And so by this video, I'm not really telling you what to do. I'm telling you my experience, and hopefully this can stop the vicious cycle of what I'm going to speak about. So, as you guys know, this wonderful world that we live in of social media and YouTube and Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, everything is so wonderful, and it is responsible for a lot of great, amazing things and companies. My company was really started with the root of Instagram. And while all that is so great and so fantastic, I think that a lot of problems can stem from all that. I think that what happens to a lot of people, and what happened to myself, is that I started seeing what other people were doing and seeing what other companies were doing, and I wanted to be so bad like other companies, and I wanted to just be doing what they were doing. I thought it was so cool, and I thought, oh my god, they must be making so much money. And that's where problems start running in. So really, my biggest mistake in business thus far has definitely been comparing myself to other companies, or trying to do things for my business not for the right reasons, doing it because I want to look a certain way, or doing it because I think that it's what I'm supposed to do because other people are doing it. So really the comparison aspect is what has been my biggest mistake. So I will give you guys a few examples because that's how I am. I will give you guys a few examples of some things that I did in my business that looking back, I would have never done. Not that I would have never done them, I mean, because they were great learning experiences, and I truly believe that something positive always comes out of every experience. But these, I wish I could have, for example, I'll talk about the first one and then we'll go into different things. About a year and a half ago, I really thought it would be so cool, and I thought, oh my gosh, it would be so amazing if I could do BeautyCon. I had been to BeautyCon a ton of times. And BeautyCon, for those of you that don't know, is like a beauty event with all the beauty big YouTubers and lots of companies go, and it's really fun. And I've been to the LA one with some of my friends, and I've also been to the New York one with some of my friends. And I thought it was a great time, and I thought it would be a great business opportunity for me to go to BeautyCon and sell my products. Well, at the time, I was really doing it because I was like, how cool is it gonna be for my company to be there? And how cool is it gonna be that I'm gonna be alongside all these big companies and blah, 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 like all this stuff that I never really sat back and thought about, well, wait, is this what's really best for my company, or is this what everyone else is doing? So I saw the initial cost and I thought, wow, this is something I could definitely afford. So I signed the contracts, everything was set, I paid the money. I didn't know what the initial cost, that there would be so many add-ons, because they weren't upfront about saying what everything would turn out to be. And all in all, it was a huge sum of money that was spent. And I think I sold like maybe 5% of what it was actually supposed to be. And I sold like 5% of the cost of what it was to be there. So I made no profit. I lost over $20,000. It was such a bad decision, but it was a great learning. I mean, relationship-wise with Hedy, it was a great experience. I mean, it was a great experience in that sense, but business-wise, it was an awful decision. So I thought that, wow, all these companies are doing it, and I thought, wow, I need to do that to be successful. And that was the total opposite case. I should have never been there. I should have never done that. Yes, it was very cool. It was a very cool opportunity. I met a lot of great people, but I don't think I was ready for it. I think I was looking at other companies and comparing myself and thinking, this is what I need to be successful. And it wasn't what it was thought out to be. Another mistake that I made was, I have had a few offices in the past. I have had 3 different office locations. My first office was very small, but it was perfect for what I needed. And then I outgrew it because it was very small. And then I went to the most perfect space that I regret so much, so much for leaving, because it was the perfect size. It was the perfect layout. It was the perfect building. It was perfect. It was great. It was a great space. The rent was really good. It was just a great space. And it was a small space. It was 300 square feet. So at that point, I thought, I need something bigger. I want people to be able to come into the store, to the showroom, and be able to see and do this and do that. Like looking at other brands and comparing myself to all these other things that were so irrelevant when I think back to it. And I moved out of that office. Packed up everything and moved into a bigger office. A really big office. So that office, the second one I was just talking about, was, the first office was 140 square feet. The second office was 300 square feet. And the third office was 800 square feet. So it was a really big office. And it just wasn't what I needed. I was looking at what other people were doing and I thought, I need this. I need to change my business to be this. And it wasn't what I needed. What I needed was the 300 square foot space. And now it's rented and I can't get it back. And I probably won't be able to get it back for God knows how long, because the renters are there and who knows when they're gonna leave. And so after having that office, I never broke the lease because breaking leases is really not something you want to do unless you have to do it or you go out of business or there's other reasons. But I didn't break my lease. I wrote it out, and then I ended up leaving because it was just, the other rent, it was being covered by people coming in, and it was a good location. But I thought that this new location, this bigger location, was going to have a lot of people coming in and was going to cover itself, and I wasn't even covering half of the rent. So I had to leave that office because it didn't financially make sense. Now, what I'm trying to get to with all these points is by me looking at what other people were doing, and instead of just being like, oh wow, that's awesome that they're doing that, and me changing everything to try to be like them because I thought that's what I needed to do to be successful, I ended up really hurting myself. Now, this is not to say that I have not been successful, because in my opinion, I believe I've been successful. But it's just like things like that that could have prevented me from wasting money, because it all comes down to, in business, it all comes down to money and wasting money and how much you're making and how much you're spending. And by making these financial decisions, at the end of the day, the only thing that I was affecting was my paycheck and how much money I was going to get to take home. And if I wouldn't have done these, if I wouldn't have been comparing myself and thinking I need to be like this person or that person, I would have been a lot better off. I mean, Eddie and I went through a time period that we struggled so much, you guys. It was unreal how much we struggled. It was right when we moved out. We had moved out the day after we got back from Dallas, and things were really bad. I had just blown a ton of money at BeautyCon. It was like way over 20,000, so probably about 30,000. I had other bills I needed to pay here, like for the business operating. I had the rent for the office that I needed to pay that was close to $2,000. I had all the expenses with moving out. We had just spent like $5,000 on furniture. We had just spent all this money on different things that we were financially in a really tough spot, because in my head, I thought BeautyCon was going to be something that it wasn't, and I thought we were going to make a lot of money. And that's another thing, is not counting on money that you think will be coming in, but counting on what you know for sure is coming in. Not counting on maybe your spouse will be getting a raise, or maybe he'll be getting a bonus, or she will be getting a bonus, because those are not for sure things. You need to count on what you have at the moment. And that was another mistake I made that I learned really early on in life. So we were really struggling, you guys. It was a very bad time for us. Luckily, it didn't last long. No bad times last long. They come and go, and if you can fight out of them, they go away. I mean, it was a tough time. Like, I remember going to the grocery store, and we were like, should we buy this avocado or should we buy this onion? Like, it was really bad. And we, like, even to one point that Eddie needed to go somewhere for work, and obviously the company, like the company he was working with, the only thing they were going to cover for that trip was going to be like the gas of the trip. Like, it wasn't like the company he worked for before, not the company he works for now, but before, was not a very ethical company, and they weren't going to give him money for food, even though he was doing this, and we didn't like have the money for him. We just like didn't have that money. And so I remember we had like a bag of coins that we went and we took, and we got like cash back with that, so he could be able to, you know, have his lunch or whatever he needed to have, or if he needed a snack, or if he needed emergency money. Like, we took the bag of coins and we cashed in it. So it was a really bad time, and I feel like all of that could have been avoided if I would have just listened to myself and would have just not let those things like cloud my judgment and cloud my decisions. And I think that it happens a lot to people, and I think especially in the reseller community that it really does happen. You know, because you're seeing what other people are sourcing, or what other people are doing, or this person's buying this much inventory and that person's buying that much inventory, and it's like, if you are not there yet, there's nothing wrong with not being at that level yet, you know? Like, just appreciate where you are at that moment and learn as much as you can from that moment, and not trying to outdo the other person, or not trying to do something for the wrong reasons. And I think it's so easy when we see on Instagram that this person had 20 or 40 or 50 or $60,000 in sales, and then we look at ourselves and we're like, oh my God, we only have 5 or 10 or 15,000 in sales, and we're like, how can we get to that level? And then we start doing things we normally wouldn't do. And then that's where the problems start, because if you just continue in the path that you're going in, you're gonna grow, you're gonna experience the growth. It doesn't happen overnight, and anybody that does say it happens overnight is wrong. You're gonna grow at your own pace, however that pace may be. Everybody grows at a different pace, and you cannot measure it next to somebody else, because everybody has different things that are molding them. And it makes me really sad when people will comment on not only my videos, but other people's videos or other people's Instagram posts, and I see them, I see the comments, and it makes me so sad. And they're like, oh my God, I wish I could be like you, or I wish I could be doing what you're doing. Like, no, you need to be doing what you're doing. Like, you need to be your own inspiration. If you are not your own inspiration, you need to be your biggest cheerleader, you guys. You guys need to be your biggest cheerleader. And I am so blessed in my life to have Eddie, and to have my parents, and to just have such amazing people that are cheering me on constantly. But at the end of the day, I am my biggest cheerleader. I look up to the person I want to be next month or next year or in 5 years. That's who I'm looking up to, and that's who you guys really need to look up to, is yourself in the future, and just really zero in on what you want. All right. So I hope that made sense. I don't know, I just started talking and I don't even remember anything I said. I don't know, I lost myself there. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. I'm not trying to sit here and tell you what to do and what not to do. I'm just trying to sit here and tell you to go at your own pace. Do not compare yourself, and just let things happen when they are meant to happen and when they need to happen. Do not mess around with, don't mess around with fate, honestly. Just do what is in your path, and you will be really successful. Just don't try to be like anyone else. Be the best person you can be, because there's only one of you, and that is the truth. So with that being said, I have so many emotions, so many mixed emotions that have happened in the last 5 years, so many ups and downs. And as I film this video, I am looking at my wall, because on the wall where my computer is, so you guys don't really get to see it that much, but on the wall where my computer is, and on the side wall, and on the other side wall, I don't think I've ever shown it in a video, maybe I'll show it in tomorrow's video. I have my dad actually convinced me to do this. I have all the press poolings that I've ever been featured in, and it's not all of them, it's some of them. I have letters, I'm looking at it from here, I have letters from editors, from magazines. I have Today Show stuff. I have something that a school invited me to speak at. Like, I have all this stuff around me. And the reason why my dad told me to put this all around me is so he's like, so you can constantly be trying to outdo what you have done. So you can see your accomplishments and you can zoom in on them and know that, look, I already did this, so I can do anything. And that's what I did, and it really has motivated me and helped me just to see, and as I reflect with the 5 years that have happened, and the 5 years that I have been in business, and think about all the stuff that has happened, the good, the bad, the funny, the trade shows I've been to, the people I've met. The people I met are some of the best people. I can't even tell you guys the type of people I've met. I met people with, like, I am like work friends. I may not have friends I may not have, like, you know, that many colleagues. I don't have colleagues is what I'm trying to say. But I have so many work colleagues that have different businesses. I have friends that make tassel garlands. I have friends that make dolls. I have all these incredible people around me that are so inspiring, and it's all because of the business that I started. And it's just crazy. It's just crazy to see where I started 5 years ago and where I am today. I would have never in a million years thought, I never would have thought that I'd be where I am today. I thought I would be working in a CPA firm or working in a law office. Never would I think I'd be here. And it's just crazy, because if I can do it, you guys, I didn't have a single connection. I didn't have a single, nobody I knew had ever done this. So I didn't have anywhere to turn. No, YouTube 5 years ago wasn't what it is today. I had nobody to turn to and learn from. I had nothing other than myself to keep me going. And if I could do it then, you guys, anybody could do it. You don't need the other person. You don't need this person. You just need yourself, you guys. And that is the truth. And I really hope you guys took something from this. And I hope you guys, I'm not saying, I don't want people to think that I'm saying it's not good to follow people on Instagram or YouTube or anything like that, because it's great to follow people. I have, God knows, all I do is watch YouTube videos. I love YouTube. I don't even watch TV. I watch YouTube. Like, I have so many YouTubers I watch, and I watch them because I enjoy watching it. And I watch it to learn something, but I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it's, at the end of the day, I know that I need to be my biggest cheerleader, and you guys need to know that also. You guys need to be your biggest cheerleaders and look up to yourself in 5 years, or look up to yourself 5 years ago. Whenever your best time in life was, or wherever your best time is gonna be, look up to yourself. That's all I wanna say. I'm really excited for this week. I'm very excited to kind of reach that milestone and to be starting another, not starting another business, but launching another website the same day that 5 years ago I launched that business. Just makes me all sorts of excited, and I can't wait. I can't wait for what's to come. I really can't. So thank you guys so much for all the support and your kindness and your kind words, and just for even watching my videos. Thank you guys. That just, it means so much to me. All the comments and all the messages I get and all the emails I get, thank you. Thank you guys for watching and supporting me through this journey, because it's really great when you feel like you have lots of friends just cheering you on, and people you could talk to and people you're learning from. It's amazing. I truly love this community, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens. So I will see you guys in tomorrow's vlog, and until then, have a great night. Bye guys.